So now I'm gonna do some direct seeding over here, but before I put my cucumber seeds in this row here, I'm actually gonna put, these are all nasturtiums. They're so pretty. This is Cook's Custom Mix, so there's like red, orange. In between each set, I'm gonna put 2 cucumber seeds. And then all my trellising is done up here. I've actually never grown nasturtium seeds before. I mean, nasturtiums before successfully. I started some last year, but I planted them outside, and it was just, I didn't give them enough attention. I think they're a little bit delicate. So this one I've already kind of cleaned up. There's a bunch of stuff I cut off. I cut off a lot of the bottom stuff, and then yeah, I'll just stick it in that hole, backfill it with the soil that I dug out, and then I'm gonna side dress everything with bone meal and blood meal, and then I'm gonna cover everything with compost, and then I'm gonna plant my cucumber seeds after I do all that. Like, the whole plant is edible, so you can put the flowers in your salad or just like whatever. They're edible. I mean, however you would use edible flowers, they're just like, you can eat those guys. The leaves are edible. Also, the main reason I'm planting these by the cucumbers, if for nothing else, is because they're also a good trap crop to plant in areas where you might typically get like aphids. I actually keep a set of like cheap plastic measuring cups in the greenhouse, and they come in handy all the time. Even just to have something with like a handle, just for a little, they're just a handy tool to have around, and they're super cheap. So what I actually have found to be the fastest way to side dress everything with bone meal and blood meal is I just like have been scooping it in here and then going along and just side dressing everything. This white powder that's already here is diatomaceous earth. Because I have an extreme roly-poly, I have trouble with roly-polies everywhere, but in here I have like an explosion of roly-polies. And so I had it all set up for winter planting with all these holes. This year I'm experimenting with I folded back. See, so like I just folded it back and just have an open planting row, more like I do out in the big garden for my summer crops. That's what I'm doing in here this year. So when I first folded it back the night before last, I went along, I just sprinkled it with diatomaceous earth, the area that I had opened up, and then I just like left it for a day because I wanted to see if that would help with just to kind of deter the roly-polies from that planting area before I started planting, just to kind of give some space in between when it was loaded down with spinach that they were like devouring, give some space in between that and when I put my new seedlings in. And then what I've done with each of these plants, and what I'm going to do out here too as a preventative measure to try and give these guys some protection from the roly-polies, once they get big enough, the roly-polies won't really be a problem. It's just like starting off. Putting a little border around everything with Sluggo Plus. It's like an organic approved pest control method. I try not to intervene as much as possible when it comes to pest control, but I do like to try and give my seedlings like a good start, because a lot of times I find that if they can just get like past a certain point, they're a lot tougher, So anyway, that's my process. So I'll show you guys how I do that. This is bone meal. Yeah, I would normally never let a seedling be just like laying on the ground like this, but these nasturtiums are so leggy, that's kind of my only option right now. And so I don't want to prune them any more than I already have today because I've pruned them so heavily. But over the next few days, I'll just kind of clip away at them till I get them to like stand up. Is kind of what I'm hoping will happen. The blood meal. So this is called Market More 76. I've been really happy. This will be the third or fourth, I don't know. I feel like I've grown these every season, so I guess this might be the fourth time I've grown these, and I've always been happy with them. So with cucumber seeds, I don't soak these. There are only a couple seeds that I soaked last year, and I'm soaking again this year. I'm soaking my bean seeds and my okra seeds. But the cucumbers I'll just plant straight out of the pack. I like to plant seeds with my bare hands because it's more fun. And I like to feel what's going on in the soil and the depth and everything. You want to make sure to keep the soil wet every single day until they germinate. The soil has to stay wet for them to germinate. So you have to water them every day. Can't forget. Okay, hole here, and I'm gonna go like 2 or 3 in this. 3. Let me see that. 3. And then cover them back with the dirt. I got all of my cucumber seeds planted, and now I'm gonna plant noodle beans. I have soaked these overnight, so half of them are green, half of them are red, and so I'm gonna go about halfway. I don't actually know which jar is which, so I'm just gonna go about halfway down the road the row with one jar, and halfway down the row with the other jar. So I'm actually probably just gonna lay them on top of the soil at first, and then go along and push them down. I'm gonna put them about 3 or 4 inches apart. So I'm just gonna open this, and then I'll just take the little lid guy, hold it right over there, and then just pour it in here and just use it as some water. Can't waste any water. We don't waste water around here. Okay, since I've lined all my beans up along here, I'm just gonna push down, cover up, push down, cover up, push down, cover up, push down, cover up. This first row is all sweet peppers and basil. It's like every other plant, sweet peppers and basil. Those are a few stray spinach plants. These are tomatoes. This is nasturtiums and cucumber seeds. I am gonna go, all these open holes, I'm gonna go along with weed barrier and cover those holes up. This row is all noodle bean seeds. Little noodle bean. Oh yeah. Little guy there. Cucumbers. So this is what the tomahawks look like. Just hook them up there, unwind some fabric, then I'll go along with my tomato clips and attach them to the bottom. Okay, I've been hooking all these tomahawk lines to my tomato plants to help support them. This is the exact same system I'll use for my other plants out here once they get going, the cucumber plants and the noodle beans. I'm just waiting for them to, grow, so I know exactly where to place the tomahawks. I pull the string tight, then I figure out exactly where I want the clip. I want it to go below this bottom branch here. So these clips have like teeth in them, if you can kind of see that. And so you want to make sure that you clip it like in this area in the middle. You want that to be clipped over the string. You want these little teeth guys to like actually bite into the string, can you tell? So that it'll actually hold it in place. So pull it tight and then put the teeth over the string and then clip it. And then I always move the rest of the string out of the way. And so then as it grows, I will add, like sometimes I'll just remove the bottom clips and move them up. Sometimes I'll add more clips. It all just kind of depends on the plant and how it's growing.